Hey everybody, welcome to another presentation of strat-o-matic baseball. This is advanced rules with a few super advanced sprinkled in, namely the ballpark effects and the clutch effects. Everything else is pretty much going to be done by the advanced version. That's including steals and defense. This is a game that was played April 10th, 1986, game 3 in my little 1986 mini season I've got going on. And it's the Milwaukee Brewers visiting Comiskey Park to take on the Chicago White Sox. Starting pitchers for today's game, Joel Davis will be on the mound for the White Sox, and Juan 19th Nieves Breakdown will be on the mound for the Brewers. Starting lineup, we got Mike Felder in center. Mike Felder in left, Yount in center, Molitor at third, Robideau is at first, Ernest Riles at short, Rob Deere is in right, Paul Householder is the DH, Jim Gantner second, and Cerrone catching. For the White Sox, Cangelosi in center, Tollison at third, Baines in right, Carlton Fisk is in left field, Kittle DH, Greg Walker at first, Tim Hewlett at second, Ozzie Guillen at short, and Joel Skinner the catcher. Ballpark effects for Comiskey Park, and very quickly I'll run by those. It is singles are 1 to 9 for both lefties and righties, and home runs are 1 to 3. So hopefully this setup is going to work okay. Hopefully these the older strat cards, they're white, they're not the pink and the blue or the red and the blue, so hopefully you can see those okay. That's what I'm hoping for. As we get going here, Joel Davis, right-hander, is on the mound for the White Sox, and he'll be taking on Mike Felder. Try to get a little closer here maybe to get a zoom in on these cards, hopefully, and also still see the score sheet. So hopefully this is working. Work in progress, as I say. All right, here is Mike Felder to lead things off. It's 2-11 for Felder against the righty Davis. 2-11 is a pop out to first base. So Felder pops it up. Harmless little pop up to the first baseman Walker. And there's one away. That'll bring up Robin Yount. Yount a 2-8 against a right-hander is a ground ball to short. So that's handled by Ozzie Guillen. And there's 2 up, 2 down. Paul Molitor steps to the plate. Paul Molitor. So 2-4 for Molitor against a right-hander, and that is a ballpark single check. So a 1 to 9, and he'll get a single. And he does. So Molitor, 2-out single, and he's a threat to run. He is an A stealer. So if we look at the A stealer, it starts as a 15. It's being held, makes it a 13. And then we got the catcher arm, which in this case is Skinner, who's a -1. So we start with a 15. It drops down to a 12. But Molitor's going to take the chance with 2 outs, try to get in the scoring position. And he does, and it's a 1, so it's a chance for a throwing error on Skinner. And a 1 to 7 is his T rating, so it could be a throwing error. And it is, so it's a single plus an error. So a stolen base for Molitor, and then an E2 on the throw for Skinner. As he threw that one into center field, Molitor is now standing at third base. There are 2 outs. And Billy Joe Robideau, first baseman, is up to the plate. 4-11, lefty on righty. 4-11. 4-11 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Ozzie Guillen. And Guillen's a 2. And that is a 2. So a 2 and a 2 for the shortstop is a single. 1 star, but that's all that was needed because the runner was on third. So a base hit for Robideau. He comes through. Right now it's an unearned run because of the throwing error. And here comes Ernest Riles. 6-12 against a lefty. That's a ballpark home run chance, diamond shot, but it's only 1 to 3. And it's a 20, so it's a easy fly out to right field to end the inning. But the Brew Crew do start off the scoring with the run. It's unearned because of the throwing error. And at the end of half an inning, it is the Brew Crew 1 and the White Sox coming to bat. And lefty Juan Nieves. Juan 19th Nieves Breakdown, as Chris Berman used to call him, is stepping up, facing John Cangelosi. Used to call him Bela Lugosi because Cangelosi kind of sounds like that. All right, 4-8. Cangelosi is a switch hitter batting right against Nieves. 4-8 is the ground ball shortstop X. That's Ernest Riles, who's a 4. Not very good. 4 and a 14, and he actually will make the play. It's a ground ball C, but that's good enough. So it's a 6-3 ground out for Cangelosi. Brings up Wayne Tollison. This is before he was traded to the Yankees later on. 5'10", switch hitter batting right. 5'10" is a fly ball center field X. That's Robin Yount. He's a 2, and that's a 7, so I believe that's a good play, but I'll verify it. 2 and a 7 certainly is. Fly ball C. So good play by Robin. 2 down. Rockin' Robin. As far as stuck together on me, it's actually Harold Baines who's up next, not Fisk. So Baines, right fielder, steps up. 5-8. Nieves against a lefty. 5-8's a strikeout. So Nieves didn't have any breakdowns this time. He went through the order 1, 2, 3. Down go the White Sox after one complete here at Comiskey. It's the Brew Crew 1 and the Pale Hose nothing. Joel Davis back on the bump facing Rob Bombardier. Big strong right-handed hitter that strikes out a lot and hits home runs. 5-2 is a ground ball to Davis, and that's 1 away. Ground ball B. 1 down, that'll bring up the DH, switch hitting Paul Householder. And these are the actual lineups from this game. 3-7 for Householder is a strikeout. So 2 down. And we're going to go to Jim Gantner, second baseman, number 8 hitter in the lineup. 3-9, and that is a base hit to right field. So a 2-out single for Gantner. Not really a threat to steal. He's a B stealer, but we're going to go ahead and let him stay there. Here's Rick Cerrone. 1-7. 1-7 for Cerrone. Look at this. 1-3 is a home run. 4-20 is a double, and Gantner may score anyway. And 6, so it's a double. So now we got to see if Gantner can score. He was being held. There are 2 outs, so to -1 plus 2 is a 14. So that's a total of 15. And then the fly ball went to center field, or the hit went to center field. Center fielder Cangelosi is a +1 arm, so that makes it up to a 16. So 1-16, he'll be safe, and he is. So that Gantner will score on that double by Cerrone. Rick Cerrone, the Milwaukee treat. And the Brew Crew lead it 2-0. We'll bring up the top of the order and Mike Felder. 3-6 for Felder is a ground ball to second, and the inning is over. So Milwaukee tacks on another run, and we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Brew Crew, as the White Sox have their work cut out for them against Nieves, and it'll be Carlton Fisk, left fielder in this game. Not a very good left fielder, but he's out there. 3-9 against the lefty Nieves, and he's going to ground to short. 1 away. And that will bring up Ron Kittle. Ron Monpaw Kittle. 6-5 against Nieves against a right-hander. It's ground ball second base C, but there is this triangle, so we're going to use the split. 1-2 is a single. Anything else he lines to short. And that's going to be a liner to short. It would have been a grounder to second, so either way it's an out. Not to be technical. So it's a line out to short for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Greg Walker. So this will be a lefty on lefty matchup between Nieves and Walker. And that's a 2-9 against the lefty. The ground ball to first. Handled over there by Mr. Robideau. And he roped-a-doped his way to first base for the putout. And there's inning is quickly over. 3 up, 3 down. Nieves is perfect through 6. Or through 6 batters, I should say, through 2 innings. And it's 2-0 Brew Crew, and Joel Davis back on the bump to face Robin Yount. 4-10 against the righty is a ground ball third base X. That is the third baseman, Mr. Mr. Tollison. He's a 4. And that's a 10, which is an error check. And Tollison's an E20. And that's a 9 on the E20. We go to E20, and there is no 9. It's a ground ball A for that. So Tollison was able to make the play. 5-3. One away. Brings up Paul Molitor. 6-9 is a base hit. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else will be a double. So Molitor, troublesome on the base pass. Singled, stole base, and scored. Now he's doubled. So he's on second base. 1 out for Billy Joe Robideau. 5-6 for Joel Davis against the lefty is a strikeout. Keep getting the pencil instead of the pen for some reason. Don't know why. 2 down. I'm going to move this pencil out of my view so I don't grab it. It's 2 down. It's up to Ernest Riles. 4-4 is going to be another ballpark home run chance. And again, it's 1-3. And that's a 16, so no go. It's a fly to right. Inning's over. This time Davis pitches out of it. So now we go to the bottom of the third. It's still 2-0 Brew Crew. And Tim Hewlett-Packard will be on the first batter up to the plate. Second baseman. 3-12 against the lefty. 3-12 is another ballpark home run chance. But again, only 1-3. And he's going to end up flying to left field. So 1 away for Mr. Ozzie Guillen. Flamboyant former manager. 6-3, lefty on lefty. 6-3 is a fly ball right field X. That's Rob Deere. Deere is a 3. And it's a 15. That's probably a good play. 3 and a 15 is a fly ball C, so it's good enough. 2 down. Brings up Joel Leonard Skinner. Joel Leonard Skinner. 5-7. Righty on lefty Nieves. 5-7's a solid single to right field, and it took the number 9 hitter to get the first hit of the game for the Sox. They have a man on with 2 outs for Cangelosi. 5-11 against Nieves. Fly ball left field X. Left fielder Felder is a 3. And that's a 7. Should be a good play. 3 and a 7 is a fly ball C. Barely a good play, but he made it. And that's all that counts. The inning's over. So Nieves, the no-hitter's gone, but keeps the shutout intact after 3 complete from Comiskey. It is Brew Crew 2 and the White Sox nothing. Here's Rob Deere to lead things off. It's a 3, put where you see it. 3-11 against a right-hander for Deere is a fly to center. And that's 1 away. So Deere is retired. Brings up Paul Householder. 4-9 for Householder. Switch Eddie Bain left. 1-10's a single. And 11-20 lines a second. That is a single for Householder. So a 1-out single. We'll bring up Jim Gantner, second baseman. Jim Gantner. 4-10 for Gantner, and that's a catcher X. So the catcher, Skinner, is a 3, and that's a 15. So we'll check 3 and a 15 for the catcher. 3 and a 15 is a pass ball and a foul out. So we got a pass ball on Skinner to move Householder up a base to second, but then it is a pop out. Out number 2. So we got Skinner's had an error on a throw, and now he's had a pass ball. So not a good game for Skinner, at least so far. Here's Cerrone, although he does have the only hit. 4-7 for Cerrone is a walk. So it's a 2-out walk. Keeps the inning going for Felder. And Felder 0 for 2. 1-3. 1-3 is going to fly to center, so now he's 0 for 3. Inning is over. Brewers put 2 on, but can't do anything with it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0 in favor of Milwaukee. Nieves facing Wayne Tollison, third baseman rather. 5-7 for Nieves against a right-hander is a single to right field. That 5-7 roll was the same one Skinner got a base hit on, I believe. So the leadoff man is on, and that brings up Harold Baines. Best chance for the White Sox all game. get something going. 2-9 for Baines, and that's a potential base hit. 1-16, only 1 star, but it's a hit either way, so it is a base hit. And now runners at first and second, nobody out, and Pudge Fisk to the plate. So Pudge does have the power, even in '86. He had 14 home runs, so he wasn't totally through yet. He's just about retired, but not quite. 6-3 against Nieves is a fly ball right field X. That is Deer, who's a 3. And that is a 3, so that's going to drop in for extra bases. 3 and a 3 is, actually it's only going to be a single, but it's 2 stars. So Fisk, single, but 2 stars, so that will score Tollison with the first run of the game for the Sox. And will also move Baines to third. So they got runners at the corners, nobody out. Cut the lead to 2-1, so a good chance to at least, at a minimum, tie the score. And it's Ron Kittle. 3-7 for Kittle is a strikeout. And that's just like Deer, that's the feast or famine kind of thing. You either get a home run or a strikeout a lot of times. So here's Greg Walker now. Infield double play depth, 3-11. 3-11 is a ballpark single check, which is a 1-9. It's a 19 though, so that's not going to happen. So he's going to line it to second, 2 down. It's up to Tim Hewlett, or they're going to miss a golden opportunity. 6-6 for Hewlett, a right-hander, is a walk against Nieves, so the inning continues with the bases loaded. And Ozzie Guillen, the batter. So it's up to Ozzie Guillen. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 6-5, lefty on lefty. 6-5 is a walk. So Ozzie Guillen draws a bases loaded walk, and that's going to tie the score at 2. So Ozzie keeps the line moving and sends it to the number 9 hitter, Joel Skinner, who did single his last trip. 4-10 against a right-hander is a catcher X. So for Milwaukee, that's Cerrone. He's a 3, and that's a 7. Could be another run on a pass ball or something. 3 and a 7. Actually, 3 and a 7 for the catcher is strictly a pop out. So got out of it as one catcher pops to the other, ends the inning. But the Sox pick up 2 at the end of 4 from Comiskey. We are tied at 2 apiece. So now Joel Davis coming out for inning number 5. His point of weakness starts at 6. Nieves starts next inning on the 5th, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Get the bullpens ready. Here's Yount. 3-8 for Yount against a righty is a ground ball to short. 1 away. Brings up Molitor. He's 1 for 2, a single and a double and a stolen base and a run scored. 5-3. It's ground ball first base X. That is going to be Walker. He's a 3, and that is a 3. 3 and a 3 is a single, 1 star. So Molitor, speaking of 3s, is 3 for 3. And that'll bring up Billy Joe Robideau. 6-10 against Davis, and that's an in-home run chance. And Molitor does have, Robideau. However, Robideau has weak power against righties. Oddly enough, normal against lefties, but weak against righties. So if that's a 1 through 15, it's just a single with 2 stars, not a home run. And that's what it is. So it would have been a home run, but it's a single, 2 stars. Puts runners on the corners with 1 out. And Ernie Riles, the batter. 1-6 is a ground ball first base A. That's a 3-6-3 double play. And Milwaukee waste a big opportunity there as Riles rounded in this 3-6-3 twin killing. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 2, and this is Nieves' point of weakness starting here because he has a 5 next to his name. So Cangelosi leads off, top of the order. And we got a 6-9 against a righty, and that's a base hit. 1-15 is a double. 16-20 is a single. That's a double for Cangelosi, and the Brew Crew bullpen is loosening already. As Mark Clear is loosening in the Milwaukee bullpen. Mark Clear, right-hander. Right now it's Wayne Tollison, the batter. 6-8 for Tollison is a single, because Tollison switched to batting right. It's a single to center field. So now the question is, will Cangelosi score? He was being held. He runs at a 17, makes it a 16. Yount's arms a +1, makes it a 17. So 1-17, he's going to try it. And he makes it barely. I mean, barely. So that's all that matters, though. He slid in under the tag, and the White Sox lead it by the score of 3-2. Could be the last batter coming up right here for Nieves, the lefty Baines, because you got righties coming up. So here's Baines, 6-11 against the lefty, and that is a ballpark single, which is a 1-9, and that is a 5. So it is a ballpark single, which is a 1-star. And that's going to be it for Mr. Nieves. He was going well until the last inning and start of this inning, but he is done for the day. And Mark Clear, right-hander Mark Clear, will be on. Mark Clear. And Clear has his work cut out for him. He got runners at first and second and nobody out. And Carlton Fisk, the batter. That's a 3-3 for Fisk. He's going to line it to short. So Fisk lines one to short, handled over there by the shortstop Riles for out number 1. Here is Kittle. 3-6 for Kittle is a single to right field, and that's going to probably produce another run. We'll see. Tollison runs at a 15. He was being held, makes a 14. It went to right field, which is Deere, who's a 0. So that's a 1-14. Do they take the chance, or they're gonna hold him up and leave the bases loaded with only 1 out, figuring they have 2 chances now to get more hits? So Kittle loads the bases with that single. Now you got the lefty Greg Walker, and Greg Walker does have some power. As Clear tries to get out of this, 4-2 against the lefty. 1-13 is a single. 14-20, he's going to line to second. So it is a 19, so he lines to second. And there's 2 away. And now it's up to Tim Hewlett to bring home another run. 6-3 is a ground ball pitcher X. And Clear is a 2E19, but he's a 2. That's the main point to go on. 16 for the pitcher, and a 2 is out of range. We got an error check. And he is an E19. And that's a 6. E19 and a 6 is a 1-base error for the pitcher. E19 and a 6 is a 1-base error. So that's going to allow a run to score as Clear boots it. Run will come across. Everybody else will move up. Base is still loaded. 2 are in. It's 4-2 White Sox. And Ozzie Guillen steps to the plate. That is a 2-5 for Guillen. He's going to ground to first. Handled by Robideau. Innings over, but the Sox pick up 2 more runs. And at the end of 5 innings, it's 4-2 in favor of the Pale Hose. So the Brew Crew had that 2-0 lead, but it was short-lived. And Joel Davis going to go back out there. This will start his point of weakness inning number 6. He's going to be facing Rob Deere. So 3-2 for Deere, and he's going to strike out against the right-hander. 1 away. Against the lefty, he'd have been hit by a pitch, but against the right-hander, he struck out. Here's Paul Householder. Move this over so we can get more of the score sheet in. Householder 4-3. Switch hitter batting left. 4-3 is a walk. So Joel Davis gives up the walk. That's 1 ding against his point of weakness. Here's Gantner. 4-7 against a lefty is another walk. So back-to-back walks. 1 more base runner, and he will reach his point of weakness. The White Sox bullpen is loosening. They've got action down there. And it looks like, let's see who the reliever is going to be. That's warming up. Bill Dawley, right-hander Bill Dawley is loosening in the bullpen. All right, here's Cerrone. 1-7 against a righty, and that's a home run chance, 1-3. Anything else is a double. So that'll at least produce 1 run, if not 2. So it's a double for Cerrone. We know that Householder will score. Gantner, we don't know about. He was not being held because he's a trail runner. That's a 14. The double went to center, which means center fielder Cangelosi is a +1. So that would be a 15. 1-15 he would score to tie the game. I think that's a good gamble, 1-15. It's a 14, he made it, so he does score, and we have a tie ball game. Tied at 4, and that's going to be it for Joel Davis. He is out of there. They got to him in the 6th, so he is gone, and right-hander Bill Dawley will be on for the Sox. So Bill Dawley stepping in. Tie game, 1 out here in the top of the 6th, and he'll be facing top of the order Mike Felder. 3-5 for Felder is a fly to center. 2 down for Robin Yount. 6-10 is a ground ball third base X. Third baseman is Tollison. He's a 4. That's a 5. 4 and a 5 is a double. So it's a double for Yount. And that brings up Molitor. First base is open. You wonder if they might walk Molitor because he's 3 for 3, but they're going to go ahead and take a chance and pitch to him. 3-5 is a walk anyway, so it was an unintentional intentional walk maybe. But it's 2 on for Mr. Robideau. Robideau last time singled. See, 6-6 against a lefty for Dawley, and Robideau is going to do some more damage here. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a double with 2 stars. That's a double. I'm sorry, that's a single with 2 stars. But the 2 stars is the important part because Yount will now score, and that puts the Brew Crew back on top, 5-4. That run is charged to Dawley. He's now on the record for wins and losses. And I'll bring up Ernest Riles, 9th man to bat in the inning. 2-6 for Riles. He flies to center, and the inning is over. So that's going to do it. 3 runs come across. Brew Crew leads it 5-4, and that's going to be all from Mr. Dawley. He will not be coming back, as he had his issues. Now, Mark Clear is going to try to take advantage of this, although he's on a short leash. Here's Joel Skinner. 1-5 for Skinner is a strikeout. So 1 away. Brings up John Cangelosi. That's a 5-7 against a lefty. Switch hitter batting left. 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. That is Gantner. He's a 2, and that's a 10, so that is an error check. Gantner error rating is a 12, and that's an 11. So E12 and an 11 is a ground ball A. Good play. So Gantner makes the play. Tough hop. Fielded it no problem. 2 down, nobody on for Wayne Tollison. Tollison 3-2. It's ground ball to third. Innings over. So 6 innings are in the books. And the Brew Crew lead it 5-4 over the White Sox in a back and forth tilt. Clear is going to be done for the day, I do believe. He's gotten his time in, so he will be removed. Right now for the White Sox, they will bring in a new relief pitcher, Gene Full Nelson. So Gene Nelson, the righty, is coming on in place of Dawley. So Nelson will be facing Rob Deere. It'll be Deere, Householder, and Gantner. Start the 7th. 2-8 for Deere is a 1-8 double. 9-20, he flies to center. That's a 10, so he flies to center. And that's out number 1 for Deere. Brings up Paul Householder, DH. And Householder singled, walked, and struck out. 6-4. Switch hitter batting left. 6-4 is a strikeout, so he's going to strike out again. Out number 2 for left-hander Jimmy Gantner. 2-4 for Gantner is a ground ball back to Nelson, and the inning is over. So we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Comiskey Park, and Brew Crew are leading it by the score of 5-4. And new pitcher for the Brewers will be lefty Ray Searage. So Ray Searage is on. I believe he is still the pitching coach for the Pirates right now. I think. For my memory. Alright, here's Harold Baines, lefty on lefty. 4-4. Struck him out. One away, so Searage gets the strikeout. Here is Pudge Fisk. 3-10 for Fisk against a lefty is a fly ball to center field. Says plus injury, but we're not doing injuries, so I'll leave that alone. Here's Kittle. 6-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Mr. Riles. He's a 4, and that's a 13. And that's a good play. Ground ball C. So 6-3 ground out ends the inning. We go to the 8th. Still a 5-4 ball game. And Gene Nelson back out to start his 2nd inning. Brings up Rick Cerrone. 6-6 is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not fatigued, so that will stand. Back to the top of the order for Mike Felder. 0-4. He needs a hit. 2-6. He's not going to get it. He flies to right. He's in danger of going 0-5. Well, he's not in danger of going 0-5. He is 0-5. He's in danger of going 0 for the game. Doesn't get another at bat. 1-5 for Yount, and that's a 1-15 home run. 16-20 is a triple. And that's a 7. It's a home run for Robin Yount. So he doubled his last trip. Now he homers. And that's another insurance run to make it 6-4, Brew Crew. And that brings up the dangerous Paul Molitor. 4-5 against Nelson is a ground ball to second. Innings over. But the additional run certainly helps the Brew Crew, and they lead it 6-4. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Brewers, as Ray Searage was traditionally a matchup guy. Let him go 1 inning, which is pretty long for him. He usually doesn't go that long. So now we're looking at bullpen activity for the Brewers, and it looks like they're going to go to a lefty, John Henry Johnson. So John Henry Johnson, another lefty, is on, and he's going to be facing a lefty, Greg Walker, to start the bottom half of the 8th. That is a 4-5. Lefty on lefty. 4-5 is a single. So Walker, leadoff single, brings up Tim Hewlett. 1-10 against the lefty is another single to center. They're not going to take the chance on the bases. Down by 2. They're going to just hold him up there. So runners at first and second. Nobody out for Ozzie Guillen. Guillen could bunt. He's an A bunter, and you know what? They're going to do that. So they're going to go ahead and bunt. Comes a B bunter. It's an 8 on a B bunter. And that's a batter thrown out by first baseman. So it's a sacrifice hit 3-4. And what that does is put the tying runs in scoring position. One single could tie the game. And it's Joel Skinner stepping to the plate. Joel Skinner. But you wonder if they might pinch hit for Skinner. Gonna check their bench. See who they might go to for pinch hitting purposes. And with the lefty on the mound, they're going to go to switch hitting Jerry Hairston. Jerry Hairston. And Hairston will move to left field, and Fisk will go back behind the plate in the bottom of the inning. That's how we're going to work that. But right now, Hairston is going to pinch hit for Skinner. Like I said, he will stay in the game to play left field, and then Fisk will move to catch. So left fielder Hairston, he is a 4, 9, a +1, and 11. And we'll do Fisk defensive ratings in the next half inning. All right, here's Hairston. Big opportunity, 3-5 against a lefty. 3-5 is a single to center field. There is a clutch rating there, but they're not 2 outs, so the single will stand for Hairston. And let's see now, that will score Walker for sure because he was at third base. Let's check Hewlett. He was not being held. He's a 13. The single went to center, so that's Young. He's a +1. That'd be a 14. 1 to 14, and he would score. So they're going to send him, see if they can tie the game. And they do. It's a 2, so a 2-run pinch hit single by Hairston has tied the game at 5 apiece. I'm sorry, at 6 apiece. We are tied at 6. Still only 1 out. And here's Cangelosi. 4-6. And that's a base hit to right field. Single to right. And let's see, do they move Hairston? They're going to hold Hairston at second. So now Wayne Tollison, the batter, and John Henry Johnson might be out of this game very quickly. 1-6 for Tollison against the lefty is a 1 to 14 single, 15 to 20, and he will line it to short. It's a single, 1 star, so that's going to load the bases now for Baines. And this is going to be John Henry Johnson's last batter. After this, they're going to the pen. There's Baines. 5-8 for Baines is a strikeout. So a big strikeout for John Henry Johnson for out number. That's only out number 1. Okay, I was thinking it was out number 2. That's only out number. No, it is out number 2 because we had a sacrifice hit earlier. So it is out number 2. And that brings up Pudge Fisk. And I'll go ahead and write his catcher defensive ratings in. He's going to be a 3, a 6, and a 2. All right, so he's coming to the plate, but he will not face Mr. Johnson. He's going to be facing a right-handed reliever, and that's going to be right-hander Danny Darwin. So Danny Darwin, I had a theory about using him. So Danny Darwin is in. 5th pitcher used by the Brew Crew, but they're going with the matchup righty on righty, trying to keep this a tie game. Bases loaded and 2 outs. 3-5 for Fisk is a ground out to short, and that's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in, and at the end of 8, it is 6-6. And let's see who the White Sox are going to send up now to pitch. It appears that they are going to go with Bob James. So Bob the Car Please James is going to drive in from the bullpen and lead us off here against Billy Joe Robideau to start the 9th, tied at 6. 6-7 against the lefty for James is a ground ball shortstop X. Ozzie Guillen, a 2. That's an 8. I think a 2 and an 8 is okay. 2 and an 8 actually is an error check. Only goes 2 to 7, so 2 to 8 is an error check. Guillen's an E24, that's a 7. E24 and a 7 is a good play, so Guillen. Tricky hop makes the play, 1 away for Ernie Riles. Ernie Riles. 1-7 for Riles against a right-hander is a strikeout. Out number 2, so James has come in and done well. Brings up Rob Deere. 6-10 against James is a ground ball third base X. That's Tollison, he's a 4. And that's a 10, so that's an error check. Tollison and E20. And that's a 6. E20 and a 6 is a 1 base error. So an E5. Second error of the game for the Sox. So that's going to be 1 error for the Brew Crew on the pitcher. So that's going to put Deere at first base with 2 outs for Paul Householder. 312 for Householder. Ballpark home run chance, and it is 1-3. And he flies to right field to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the ninth, tied up 6-6. And Darwin back on the bump. And that'll bring in Ron Kittle to lead things off. 5-3 is a ground ball. I'm sorry, it's ground ball C, so that's the first base C. That's one away. Brings up Greg Walker. Greg Walker. 6-3 for Walker, and that is a ballpark home run shot. 1-3 would be a walk-off. It's an 8, though, so that's going to end up being a fly to right for out number 2. And that brings up Tim Hewlett, or we have extra innings if Hewlett does not do anything. We are looking at extra innings. That is a 2-5 for Hewlett, and he's going to line to second, so we do have extra innings. We go to the 10th, tied at 6. And Bob the Car Please James is going to stay in there. Face Gantner. 2-6 for Gantner is a grounder to short, one away. Here is Rick Cerrone to 1-6, and that's a ground ball to short. 2 quick outs. Brings up the top of the order, Mike Felder. Felder 5-5, switch hitter, batting left is a ground ball to second. Innings over. We go to the bottom of the 10th. And we get a new pitcher for the Brew Crew. It's going to be Dan Plesac. Only the closer, but we're not going to do what Buck Showalter did a few years ago. We're going to go ahead and bring in Plesac. And that's the 6th pitcher used by the Brew Crew. Facing Guillen, lefty on lefty. 2-6. 2-6 is a line out to short. One away. That'll bring up Jerry Hairston, who pinch hit earlier and stayed in the game to play left field. Switch hitter. That's a 6-7. He's batting right-handed. 6-7 is a strikeout for Plesac. 2 down. And that'll bring the top of the order, John Cangelosi. 3-4 for Cangelosi against the lefties, a ground ball to third. And we go to the 11th. 11th inning. James will be removed. And we get a new pitcher for the Sox. And let's see who they have left in their bullpen. We haven't used yet. Dave Schmidt. Dave Schmidt, right-hander, is coming in. Dave Schmidt, and he will be facing Robin Yount to lead off. That is a 1-6 for Yount. 1-5 is a triple. 6-20 is a double. That is a 6, so it is a double for Yount. And Yount has really been doing well in his last few at-bats. Now he is in scoring position with nobody out for Paul Molitor. 3-5 for Molitor is a walk. Don't know if it was intentional or not, but he walks. Brings up Billy Joe Robideau. You would think about bunting, but Robideau is a D bunter, so they're going to swing him away. 3-3 is a pop out to first. One away for Ernie Riles. Riles. 2-5 for Riles. Ground ball second base A. That's a double play. 4-6-3. So they blow the chance here in the 11th thanks to the double play after the first 2 got on. And we go to the bottom of the 11th. Plesac back on to face Tollison to start the 11th. 5-12 against Plesac is a ballpark home run chance, but he does have normal power. So if this is a 1, 2, or 3, it's a walk-off. It's a 10, so he will end up flying to left field. One away brings up Harold Baines. That is a 5-8 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout for Plesac. Baines has struck out 4 times in this game. Very unusual. He gets the golden sombrero. And here comes Carlton Fisk. Last chance to keep us from going to the 12th. 6-4 is a catcher X. And the catcher, in this case, is Cerrone. He's a 3. That's a 14. 3 and a 14 is a pop out. And that's going to end the inning. And we go to the 12th. Still tied 6-6. Dave Schmidt still on the bump. Here's Deer. 3-7 is a strikeout for Deer. 1 away for Paul Householder. 2-8 for Householder. He's going to strike out. 2 down. Brings up Gantner. 4-5 against Schmidt is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. And I'm going to have to end this video after this half inning because I'm not going to have time to finish. So Plezak's going to go give it one more go here against Ron Kittle. 4-8 is a strikeout. 1 away. Brings up Greg Walker. 3-8 against a lefty for Walker is a ground ball to short. Last chance, it is Tim Hewlett. Timmy Hewlett. 4-9 against Plezak is a strikeout, and the inning is over. And through 12 innings, we are tied at 6 apiece, but my time has run out. I have to get going. Sorry I couldn't get it finished.